Welcome to Mindful Matters Yoga. I'm Nicole Best, and I'll be guiding you along your grounding practice today. We're going to start sitting in hero's pose, so on our knees if that's comfortable for you. That's my daughter Finley. She wanted to join me for this practice. So as we sit here, we're going to become aware of our breath. Deep inhale, completely filling the lungs, and release with a full exhale, letting everything go, including your thoughts. Just focus on being present. Continue your breathing. Complete inhale, complete exhale. Now you can slowly open your eyes if you choose. Gaze down your cheeks. We're going to inhale our arms up, and we're going to exhale the hands forward and back and up. Inhale, the arms reaching skyward, and exhale down and around. Up, inhale, the arms up, rolling the shoulders as we do this with our arms. A nice little movement to get us started. We're going to come onto our knees and stand up and coming to the top of our mat. We're going to find ourselves in mountain pose or Tadasana. Here we're going to ground down before we start our practice. So think of your feet as a tripod where you have the base of your big toe, the base of your pinky toe, and the base of your heel. 3 points touching, rooting down to the ground, pushing the earth away. It is supporting you so everything else can rise, rooting down to rise up. Maybe you lift all 10 toes up and fan them down into the ground. Remaining here for a moment as we continue the awareness of our breath. Inhale, complete exhale. And then on your next inhale, we're going to bring our arms open, out to the side and up. And then we're going to exhale them down to our prayer center. All right, I'm going to turn and face you, and we're going to move into a tree pose. So tree pose is a great grounding one leg balance. You may need a prop. You could stand next to a wall if you need the extra stability. But here you're going to put your foot onto your upper thigh, your shin, or keep it on the floor and just leave your heel on resting along your ankle. Bringing your hands to prayer or inhaling them up, wherever you feel most stable and comfortable today. Grounding down, thinking of the tripod of the feet pushing into the earth as everything rises up away from it. And we're going to inhale and bring our arms down, bring our knee forward, and stepping down. Taking a few rounds of breath as we regain our balance, shifting onto the opposite leg, again pushing that leg into the foot into the leg. When you squeeze the two together, you become more stable in a stronger pose. Inhaling the arms up if you choose. It's just an option to increase your edge of your practice. And exhale as we bring the hands through our heart center and down to the ground. Okay, we're going to now start at the top of our mat, and we're going to bring our right leg back into a really wide stance. We're moving into warrior two, so really wide legs here. You want your left knee to be directly over your ankle, so not pushing forward and not pushing too far back. This should feel very strong. Warrior two is a very strong and powerful pose. You're riding into battle. Arms are out, lots of energy here. being pulled in opposite directions. Your feet should feel like they're moving away from each other, but your inner thigh is moving in towards each other. And that front thigh, the muscle curving, splaying outwards, so the inner rotation of the thigh. Breathing here. We're going to take your next exhale, and then an inhale, you're going to bring that left foot forward, so it's going to be parallel with the right, and then you're going to rotate the right leg away from you, and we're going to do warrior two on the opposite side here. So make any minor adjustments. Every side is different, every day is different. Reaching the arms out and finding the pose. This is not a resting pose. Everything is engaged and active. That left leg is very strong, so it's the thighs engaged as you're sending energy down through the straight edge of your foot, and then up through your thighs, then out through the bent knee, and down through your heel. Careful not to let your lower ribs stick out, but bring them in, engaging your core, lifting your energy through the crown of your head, and breathe. Now we're going to inhale as we spiral that toe back forward, so feet parallel here. Inhale, maybe you look up towards the sky and bring it back down. Spiraling the left foot out, bringing it back to warrior two here. We're going to inhale, we're going to drop our left arm to our knee and bring the right hand over your head, extended side angle. I have a block here to show you some modifications. You can rest your lower hand on the block. Make that pose a little more accessible to you. And if you're using a yoga block, there's 3 different levels there, height-wise, for you to adjust and play with. Or if you feel great bringing that hand to the floor, do so. It is a deeper stretch. Keeping the chest forward, you're trying to spiral the chest forward, keeping a straight line, trying to be flat, like you're going through 2 thin bars and you want to wiggle through them. Not dropping that right shoulder. You want to keep that up. We're going to look down and inhale our arms up through warrior two, holding warrior two for 3 cycles of breath. And on your next inhale, bring your hands to heart center, and we're going to rotate the left foot out, opening our arms into warrior two, holding here for a moment, regaining our grounding position, and then stretching into your side angle. So moving that shoulder, your right shoulder, careful not to dip it down. You want to really open it up. So this is a heart opener. You're twisting forward. So you want to be your side body resting on your thigh, not twisting forward. And again, use a prop, use a chair, a table. If your arms can't reach all the way to the ground, that's okay. You can do it holding just a bit longer. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, bringing the arms up, using the inhale to rise up to warrior two, and exhale, we're going to spiral that foot forward, wide-legged stance here, hands in prayer, and then we're going to rotate the right foot back out, or left foot, I'm getting my feet mixed up. We're going to reach forward, tipping our hips forward until we can't reach anymore, and then we're going to dive down to the ground into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Again, using a prop, a chair, a table, a wall even, to keep you elevated if reaching the ground is not accessible to you right now, but it will be if you keep practicing. And again, spiraling the chest forward, opening your heart towards the front of the room or wherever, the TV screen, whatever you're facing. Keep it nice and open here, not allowing the right shoulder to dip down. And now we're going to look down and we're going to move into half moon. So if half moon is a little too challenging for you, stay in Trikonasana, triangle, or move into half moon. Half moon here, you're lifting that back leg. So in this case, your right leg up and your hips are open and your chest is open and your shoulders are open. So your upper body is nice and flat, facing forward, spiraling forward. Grounding down through the base leg, pushing into the floor or your block, table or chair with your arm, your hand, to stabilize the pose. So you're grounding down and the lifted leg and the lifted arm is rising up. And then we're going to reach forward and do a forward fold in wide-legged position, just releasing everything down. If you'd like to wiggle your hips to release any tension, please do so. Exhale, exhale, soften, soften as you're here. Bringing your hands to your hip points, inhale as you rise to coming up with a flat back. And then we're going to move into Trikonasana, triangle on the opposite side. So you're really pushing your arms forward and then releasing down to the ground. Moving the upper body away from the hips as much as possible to create some space in there. We're very tight in our hips. This is a wonderful hip opener, wonderful chest opener. Again, if half moon is not something you want to try, then you can just stay here or try it. You never know, especially since it's on the other side. If the first side didn't work out, this side might. So looking forward, you're going to place your hand in front of you a little bit, probably a foot in front, and then rising, lifting the back leg up. Energy sending out through your heel, the lifted heel, and then energy down through the grounded heel, tightening the core, energy out through the crown of the head. The lifted arm is reaching skyward as the grounded arm is pushing into the ground, stabilizing your balance. And then bringing the top leg down. We're going to windmill that top arm down as we walk through forward fold with your legs in wide-legged stance. Shifting in the hips, releasing, letting go. Grabbing the hip points. We're going to inhale and rise to standing with your next inhale. So rising upward. Now we're going to, if you'd like to, heel toe your feet in just a little bit. Little mini back bend as we fold forward again with the flat back. You can choose to interlace your fingers for a deeper shoulder stretch. Kind of changes the dynamic here. Or you can grab opposite elbow. Or just bring your hands to the mat. And then inhaling as you come rising back up with a flat back, heel toeing your feet together and coming to the top of our mat. We're going to lift our right leg, cross it over our left, and hook those toes around your calf for eagle pose. If crossing your thigh is all you can do today, that's fine. Your toes can rest on the ground as you're in this balance. Now your arms, you tuck your right under, your left over, and you cross your wrists together. Squeezing the thighs, squeezing the arms is a way to stabilize. Sinking lower in your hips. Bringing your elbows up and your hands away from your face. Now we're going to inhale and lift that top leg, your right leg up, lift the knee up, stay bent knee with the left, stepping back, toes facing forward, so we're like on skis. And we're going to inhale our arms up, exhale, drop them down, grabbing opposite elbow, or interlacing your fingers. Inhale, looking up, and then we're going to forward fold with a flat back all the way down in your pyramid pose. Again, using props such as a chair or a table here if you want to rest your hands so you can feel the stretch. That's a great option. Releasing the tension out of the top of your head as you're forward folding. We're going to look up. We're going to drop our hands to the mat. We're going to place our right palm flat down on the mat as we spiral and revolve our left hand up. Revolve pyramid. So it's a counter twist. Here you want to keep your hips as even and level as possible. So almost lifting that right hip and then bringing that left hip forward. Looking towards the mat, we're going to bring our hand up about a handprint forward and lifting that right leg back into a revolved half moon. Very challenging pose here. Props are a great option. And if you fall out, that's okay. Just bring it back. Falling is part of the process. It's part of the journey. Bringing your hands down, releasing the foot to the mat, and forward fold. Just hang here for a moment. Inhaling half fold as we rise to standing. Hands moving through prayer. And Tadasana. And now we're going to prep and get ready for the other side. So bending both knees, lifting the left leg high as you cross your thigh over the other thigh. Left arm down, right arm over, and crossing the wrist together. And again, if you can't quite get that foot around to your calf, just leave it on the floor, but keep your thighs crossed. You want to really squeeze the thighs together, squeeze the arms together, lift the elbows, bring the hands away from the face, sink lower in the hips, and most importantly, breathe. Releasing that top leg back, getting ready for pyramid pose, toes on the same plane here, like we're wearing skis. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling them down, grabbing your hands, interlacing the fingers or opposite elbow. Shoulders here, this is great for stretching the shoulders. It's great for opening the heart. We have a lot of tension, a lot of tightness in the upper back. This is a great pose when you're using these fingers to stretch it. Inhaling here and exhale, releasing the hands to the mat. You're going to bring your left hand flat on the mat as we revolve the right hand up and out, revolved pyramid. Again, we want to keep our hips square here. So lifting that arm up, twisting in the shoulders. It's a very intense stretch. If it's too much, bring both hands to the ground, that's okay. And now we're going to increase the challenge even more and revolve half moon. So lifting that back leg up, really grounding into that hand, grounding into the foot, pushing the earth away as the top hand is lifting skyward. Energy out of that back leg, the lifted heel, bringing your hands down to the mat, releasing the foot to the mat. We're going to exhale it all as we forward fold down. On your next inhale, rising to standing with a flat back, bringing the arms skyward and down through your prayer center. And opening to Tadasana. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, we're forward folding down, swan diving forward. Inhaling, half fold. Exhaling, we're going to step back or jump into a high plank, softening the elbows as we move into chaturanga, hovering here for just a moment. Inhaling, lifting into upward facing dog. And then exhaling, curling the toes under as you find downward facing dog. Pushing the floor away with your hands, your feet, your hip points lifted up, pushing through your shoulders, releasing the tension in the neck. We're going to look forward and step our left leg forward into a high lunge, rising on an inhale with your hands forward. We're in a high lunge, lifting the arms up, really engaging that right leg. And now we're going to lean forward and slowly, with conviction and grace, lift the right leg up into Warrior 3. Stretching forward with your hands. Somebody's pulling your hand, somebody's pulling your foot. Opposition there. Dropping that back leg. You're going to lift, reach forward, tucking the left elbow to your knee, and a little twist here for your lunge. Again, that back leg is super engaged. Looking towards the ground, we're going to open our arms up. A little revolve makes it a little more challenging, a little more opening. Then we're going to inhale, both hands up. Exhale, bringing your hands to the mat, lifting that back foot to meet, the front foot back to meet, and then moving through Chaturanga Dandasana, inhaling upward dog. Exhaling downward facing dog. Breathing. Inhale, look up, stepping the right foot forward, inhaling, lifting up to high lunge. Engaging that left foot, everything is really engaged, really powerful. We're going to bring our upper body forward a little bit, like at an angle, as we shift the weight into the right leg to lift the left into Warrior 3. So again, it's like somebody's pulling your foot and pulling your hands away from you. That sensation will help keep the pose grounded. And then release the foot to the mat, inhaling the arms back up. Exhale, we're going to twist against the bent knee. So bringing your left elbow to your right knee and twisting, revolving, hands in prayer. Really opening the chest along the leg. Bring your hands to your heart center and then reaching our arms back up into a high lunge, exhaling them down, moving through your vinyasa. Oh, my apologies. Plank, dropping the knees and lowering into child's pose. I'm sorry, I got distracted by Finley in here as I'm doing my voiceover. Now we're going to rest here for a moment in child's pose. So your hands can rest along your feet or they can be stretched outward. And we're going to slowly roll our spine up to a sitting position here in hero's pose, and then bringing ourselves through plank, lowering our body slowly all the way to the mat, releasing our toes down. We're going to lift, bending your your left arm across your body, reaching back with your right arm, grabbing your right ankle, lifting up, and then switching, grabbing the opposite foot, the opposite hand, flexing the foot, stretching the foot against the hand, pushing, 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 and then release, grabbing both ankles now with the hands, and then we're going to lift up into bow pose. So you're really pulling the legs away from your arms. You're pulling the feet towards you as you lift high with the spine. It's not a fun pose, but a pose we should do more often. And we're going to do it again. So grab the ankles and lift, lift the thighs off the ground, lift, 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 and release. We're always so hunched over as humans anymore with our technology and driving and computers that stretching the spine in this kind of flexion is so needed. And then again, grabbing both ankles with your feet, your hands, and pulling as you lift higher, and then release to the mat. bringing your hands near underneath your shoulders, lifting your upper body up, stretching back into child's pose with your hands stretched outward. So now you can feel free to move some of your props, your block or your chair, or situate yourself near a table where the table's in front of you, possibly. And we're going to come to a staff pose. So we're going to sit on our bottom with our legs directly in front of us, stretched out in front, flexing the feet so the toes lifted upwards, our hands alongside of our body. If you have a long torso like me, using fisting, bringing your hands into a fist and pushing the ground away is a great way to work on this pose. This is a very challenging pose, even though it seems quite simple. And pulling the flesh away from your bottom, we're going to bring our body forward, stretching forward, grabbing our toes or your shins or hands on a block on either side of you. And then we're going to curve our spine, releasing down. Breathing here. This is an intense stretch. So again, if you want to hold on to the chair that's in front of you or next to you or the table to help with this stretch. It's not how far you go, it's about the journey. So stretching the tight hamstrings, if they're tight, you've got to continue to work at it. It doesn't happen overnight. Now, if you need a deeper stretch, you could bring the block in front of your feet to stretch even further down to help with that hamstring stretch. We're going to move the prop away and lower ourselves onto the mat in a supine position. So our spine flat along mat as we bring our knees, hug them into our body. We're going to straighten the right leg down, keeping the left leg bent, arms at a T, and rotate the knee over your body into a supine twist. So we're laying down, twisting the spine. Your gaze can be off your left hand, looking in the opposite direction. Using your right hand to keep some weight on your left knee is perfectly fine. Here we're releasing, letting everything go, letting gravity do the work for us. And then inhaling the knees up, hugging them into your chest, rocking, massaging. Releasing the left foot down and then revolving the right knee over into a twist. Gazing towards your right arm, closing your eyes, just relaxing. Feeling the earth support your body. And we're going to bring both knees back up into our chest, squeezing forward, grabbing the soles of your feet into happy baby. So pulling the feet down, just releasing. This should feel really good on the lower back, really good in the hips, and just rocking back and forth. Kind of a playful pose here. Do what makes you feel comfortable, straightening one leg and then the other. And now we're going to stretch our feet directly up into the sky, arms out into a T. So really pushing the heels away from you as your tailbone is grounding down. And then we're going to lower our heels, slowly keeping the spine on the ground, using the core engaging, and then release to the ground. We are now preparing for the final resting pose, Shavasana. So hands and arms splayed outward as far that is necessary, feet apart, rolling the toes outward, and just let go. Releasing the space between your forehead. We carry a lot of tension there, releasing the tension in your jaw. And just be. So here you want to rest into gravity and feel it pulling you down, not just to the floor, but to the earth, 2 or 10 stories down. It's all about the connection to the earth here when we're grounding. It's a mental shift. And when you're ready, moving your fingers and toes and doing a big stretch. And then finding yourself rolling to one side using your arm as a pillow. And then pushing yourself up into a sitting position, hands resting on the knees. With your eyes closed, bring your hands to prayer. Lifting your thumbs, bringing them to your forehead. Reminding yourself to think positively. Bringing your thumbs to your mouth, reminding yourself to speak truth. And bringing your hands to your heart center, remembering to send love to everyone you meet. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Have a great day.